Let's get right into it. Multitasking is not easy on the guitar, and sometimes we can't even hear the chord changes. But most backing tracks and songs have a set number of beats and measures for each chord. To get my point across today, we're going to use this blues in B minor, and stick with me because by the end of this video, you're going to improvise over these chords like a pro. So we have B minor, barring the 7th fret, E minor, back to B minor, G major 7th, we're going to use that voicing, then an F sharp 7 chord with a raised 9, and back to B minor. So let's put this groove on the looper here. Need to know what the chords are, how many beats in each measure those chords are, and sometimes you will have to count them out, but try to use your ear, because that's what your goal would be, to use your ear to hear those changes. So we really need to know the triad shapes and the arpeggios that are around these chords. We really need to do that before we actually choose a scale. So I'm just going to choose a triad shape and arpeggio for each chord. Right in the center of this full chord is this triad shape. And if you pick them one note at a time, it's called an arpeggio. So we'll just use this little basic one for the B minor. E minor is right at the bottom of the E minor chord. And then moving on, I'm going to show you why I choose these, because they're right within this minor pentatonic coming up here too. G major 7. You can use either the raised 9 here, or just play a 7th chord, F sharp 7. But a good way to look at this is that arpeggio right there. And it goes back to B minor. So without even using a scale, we can dig in and create a great solo just with the triads and arpeggios. It's just that simple. I just simply use those triads I just showed you and connect them, and they sound great because the notes are in the chords that you're playing over. Coming up, I'm going to break down these solo ideas, but if this lesson has been helpful, I really appreciate if you hit that like button and leave a comment, give me some feedback on how I can do better with my videos and my upcoming lessons. So now the best way to create movement to these target notes is using the B minor extended pentatonic scale. but adding the blue note. And sure, you could solo just using that only, and it would sound good. But if you use it in combination with those triads and arpeggios, or your solos will really come alive because you are confident in the notes you're hitting. You're hitting the right note at the right time. So for me, I use these tools because it really creates a lot of movement because of this extended scale. And the notes and the chords keep you confident. And this blue note just gives it that bluesy sound. So that extended pentatonic, you can roll right up, sliding up to the root notes. And I know you laugh at the way I say it, but it's so important to know where those root notes are because it's home base for you. For the main pull of this whole thing is B minor. So know where those root notes are. So sliding up to 7 to the root note, walking up the scale, 5, 7, sliding up to 9. 7, 9, 7, back to the root note 9. Here's the lick, 7, 9, back to 7 on the B string, and then use that blue note, pull down from 10 to 9, 7, back to the root note. And I'm really looking at this triad. That's why that lick sounds so good, because you're using the notes in the chord. And a couple ways to use this, the E minor chord. You can actually put your little pinky down here on the E note in the 10th fret, take it off here, and you'll make it a minor 7th. You can actually slide up. Or take the triad and just the top two notes, 9 and 8 right here. Just sliding up. And then you can just raise your third finger here and hammer on and have your first finger on the 7th fret. And go back to that same lick. That can be something that you can repeat in a solo like this. Now if we walk up to that G major 7, 7, 9, 10, it's right to the G note here, and then strike the chord. So you can strike the chord, then you can hammer on and off that little flurry here from 7 to 8, back to 7. And try to do it with the full chord because it sounds great like that. And then walk up to the 7, 8, 9, this F sharp 7, raised 9, or just the 7th chord sounds great too. There's three key elements to really create a great solo. I work on this stuff all the time myself. I'm not perfect at it, but if you identify the chords and locate them on the fretboard, and then find the small triad and arpeggio shapes just within those chords, then you can just connect them with the pentatonic scale that you already know. I know this takes a little bit of work. You will be so glad you put in the time, because this will change the way you look at this fretboard. You're going to look at it with confidence. You're going to nail some of these notes, and even just the things you've been playing all this time are going to start clicking, because you're going to know where the notes are coming from. I really hope you got something from this lesson, and thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.